Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Weekly Wave. We don't have a lot of new stuff today. It's just kind of recapping what we had the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to talk about, of course, is the ASR. Keep in mind, it closes next Friday. So if you haven't finished wrapping up your data, please continue to look at it. Some of the issues, or the main issue that we're really having right now, is alt ed. Just to let you know, going forward in the next year, we need you to make sure when you add alt ed students into or you enroll them, you need to make sure they're marked alt ed when the enrollment is entered into your SIS. If not, then you're going to be responsible for making changes in the FQSR and ASR next year through the online data entry process. So, because it actually is captured through a transactional data store, and so it looks at the changes, but if you're not, you've got to put them in the day that you enter them in or enroll them. So please make a note of that and make sure that you're doing that next year. For this year, though, we need you to review what's out there. If they're not right, you can go into online data entry. You'll have to contact either the state data info at OSDE or state aid to open up this for you so you can make corrections on your end. The instructions on how to do it are on the ASR under general instructions above, that you can look and see step by step how to make those corrections. Also in the ASR, there's a note section, and if you make a note in that section, it's going to automatically email state aid, and either Mitzi or Lori will respond to those emails. And if you need to contact state aid, you can reach them at state.aid@sde.ok.gov, or you can call Lori at 405-522-0139 or Mitzi at 405-522-0120. Next, we have chronic absenteeism medical exemptions. This will close next Thursday. So you must have a district admin user for your students' absence records so they can be amended. In order to get a district admin user, you're going to have to fill out the survey at the link below, and we'll post this as soon as the call is over. It's on last week's documentation in the wave as well. So make sure that you have a district admin user at your district. There are 3 levels in actually working through your chronic absentee medical exemptions. Your local committee, your local exemption committee, they'll have to meet to approve or deny the absences based upon the medically exempt, based upon your local board policy and supporting documentation. You'll have to have a site user, and they use the medical exemption window to process requests and upload the committee's approved absences and documentation for each student. And then the district admin user, they review the request and supporting documentation for each student medically exempted absences to approve or deny the request. And please note that your district admin user must be different than your site user. You can't use the same person for both. Okay, post-secondary opportunities. This also closes next Thursday. And this report is now an accountability reporting application. It used to be located in the wave in prior years. So in order to access it, you'll need to go into accountability reporting, check for the coursework tab to make sure that you're submitting grades using the following steps. So from the student data button, you'll click the coursework tab, and then you'll click the flat file icon at the top of the spreadsheet. Then by clicking the flat file, it'll expand the spreadsheet to show all the courses for each student. This will allow you to check that your local sis is actually sending us grades. And if it's not, you need to contact your vendor. So please be sure you're checking that, because those two, both medical exemption and the post-secondary, are wrapping up next Thursday. Transfers. Okay, your existing transfers can still be extended through the end of the month. So until Thursday. So on Friday, anything that's not been finalized will be deleted from your transfer system, and those parents will have to reapply. Okay, during this time as well, districts, you're going to need to start reporting your capacity numbers. It's open 5 days prior to your quarter, and it'll go 5 days after the start of a quarter. Your quarter dates are July 1st, October 1st, January 1st, and April 1st. Okay, virtual district transfers. All of your virtual district entries must have a virtual transfer started on them. This allows us to see that they're meeting the statutory requirements to ensure the mobility in and out of the virtual charter schools is no more than 2 transfers into a virtual charter per school year. So that's, we're asking that you enter those as well. PEBT, accountability reporting is available for you to review your school year 2021 and 2022. That's just to review it. So once you review, and right now, I really, since 2021 is already gone, review that 2022 now. That way you can go into your local SIS and you can make those changes now in your local system. It's going to save you a lot of time. That way you're not having to do DVRs next year on this. So it is in your best interest to review that 22 data and make sure they're correct now and make those corrections in your SIS. We still have not opened the DVR process for the 2021 school year. That is coming very soon. And so once we've completed that DVR process, we'll work with others in the agency to determine when we're going to open the 21-22 DVR process. Coming very soon, the rollover for the wave will begin on July 11th and will be down to July 22nd. So, you won't be able to access the wave at any time during those dates. But prior to your SIF agent rollover, you need to put your zone to sleep. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you're having issues doing that, you either need to reach out to your vendor, or you can contact us at studentdatainfo@sde.ok.gov for assistance, and we will be happy to assist you with that. Medium instruction, it begins in 22-23 school year. We are beginning to look at the medium instruction this year. It's already being sent to us, but we're using it now to determine the learning environment based upon a course, not the attendance records. So please review your data in that category for accuracy. So it also details, like I said, how the course is being taught. A student is tied to a section, and OSDE can get more details on the course. So there are 8 different medium of instruction codes that are available for you to use. You've got 0603, which is technology instruction or based instruction in a classroom, correspondence instruction, face-to-face, virtual online distance learning, center-based instruction, independent study, internship, and then other. So, right now, I think we see the majority of our courses coming to us through 0605 and 0608. So please make sure you got them set up correctly in your sections. I just mentioned we see face-to-face quite a bit. That's your in-person. Blended can either be correspondence via email or online study. You've got your virtual online distance learning, which can be web, video, or other online. Or if it's center-based, it's a 50-50 mix of in-person or independent study held at various centers outside of a classroom. And for blended, your basis of admission is either going to be resident or open transfer, et cetera, et cetera. Virtual, like I said, it's going to be web, online, or other online. And then right now, we're not really using the independent study or internship, but once we finalize the details, we'll send out more tips and guides. They'll be available. Other than that, that's all I have. I see there's questions in the chat, and I'll be glad to get to those in just a minute. But if you have other questions related to any documents, you can always access those through the Oklahoma State Department of Education, through student info, documents, and guides. We have a whole section there, which includes our weekly wave calls and any kind of guidelines that you need to be following. So let me look at the questions right now. Amanda has asked, when you say mark them alt ed, do you mean a program tag? Ours are automatically alt ed based upon their building, since the building only houses alt ed. Lori, do you happen to know the answer to that?
I think every vendor will be different, so I didn't know how to answer that. If it automatically marks them in there, that's probably a good idea. If your vendor can do that, if it's based on a certain building, because I know there are several schools who have that, and that would make life a little more simple for those districts.
So
Okay.
are we seeing a little duplication when they mark them in program and then they're at an alt-ed facility?
No.
No, okay, all right, I'm wrong there.
Okay, great. Our SIF actually does just send it based on the building. So we just wanted to make sure we didn't need to do anything extra. So thank you.
Did you have to make any on-screen data entries?
Yeah, we did. And it was just about that exit date from the program. If they bounce to another building.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
okay,
honestly,
so
Lori, it was about half and half. Like half of them landed perfectly and then half didn't. So it wasn't terrible. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't like a categorical failure or anything like that. It was just here and there.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Hey, and Joseph wants to know how often that data is pulled. And we do have a request schedule, Joseph, to review on our website that tells you what data is pulled what day. I mean, we do data pulls every day, and a lot of times your student-based information is pulled on a daily basis, like enrollments. We don't pull on Sunday. So you can always refer to that document to see which data is being pulled on what day. Teresa is asking, I only have second semester of grades that are showing up under term 1. Teresa, I would reach out to your vendor and let them know that that's what we're getting, and debate based upon how your quarters or semesters are set up. If you got first and second semester, we should be getting 2 grades. So just reach out to your vendor and let them know that we're only seeing 1 set of grades. And Joseph, how often is the data pulled for PSOR? Well, I don't know what PSOR is, Joseph. Can you tell me what that means? Okay, I'll wait to hear for him. And Linda's asking, are the technology center grades coming from our SIS or from the technology centers? It's my understanding that you're going to have to, the counselors usually enter those technology center grades, so it will be coming from your SIS. And also, if you find an issue with PEBT for 21-22 for our student, can it be changed even if our FRI is, yes, you can go ahead and change it. Or can we still make changes until the wave shuts down? Yes, you can. If it's wrong, please do that. Tamara, regarding STN numbers for students seeking transfers who have never been enrolled in a school in Oklahoma, you're receiving continuous calls from parents frustrated because they are being sent to complete transfers. Are we've been explaining to districts sending families to us, but it would be great for an official statement that could be shared with these districts. I would be glad to reach out to Ryan and provide that input. I don't have any kind of bearing on what that office does, but I can bring that up to Ryan and see if he can put a statement out on that. And I understand the frustration, and I know that we are working, Eric is working very diligently to make sure that that online form is up that actually would create the STN. We just still working through some issues on it. And Dina, any updates on the paper? Basically, just what I said, Eric is working on it. I mean, his goal, it was supposed to be up on June 18th and they pushed it back to July, and he is trying to make sure that it is up and working by July 1st. Don't know that that's a definite date, but that is his goal. Okay. Parent PEBT information on the OSDE site has not been updated since January 2022. Is there new information for the families? No, there is not at this time. Terry's asking, we still have parents that have not received their PEBT benefits for 2021 school year, and their data is correct in the accountability report. Any suggestions what we can tell parents? There is that form online that they can go in and put in a dispute. So I would refer them to the PEBT page, and at the bottom there's like a survey they fill out, and it's sent in, and it will be reviewed once they submit that. Joseph, post-secondary opportunities report. Okay, all right. And then Teresa, our PB information is not pulling correctly. Last year we didn't have any issues. This year we have kids that are showing up as PB eligible and aren't even free and reduced. Okay, that's for 21, 22. Is that correct, Teresa? Okay. I would just check your SIS and see how things are marked. If you're seeing it in accountability incorrectly, then there's something that's feeding from your system that you need to make sure everything is marked correctly. So please take a look at that. Well, is it last year? Okay, well, I will mention that to Eric and see if he can give us any other direction on that. And okay. And Teresa, what district are you with? Okay, all right. I'll circle back to you. It'll be next week, but I'll see what he has to say about that. Okay, is there any other questions? Okay, well, thank you all for joining today.
Nancy,
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say something to them.
Okay.
If you guys have any suggestions on any kind of updates or upgrades or what you want done with the ASR, FQSR, what you want to see, what will make things easier for you, just please send those to us, because we have a list every year that we compile that we give to the IT people to try to get that stuff implemented for the next reporting season. So just please let us know, because it's hard to remember everything, and to know exactly what you guys see on your side.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up, Lori. And I also want to ask if there's anything that you would like to discuss on these weekly calls. I'd ask for someone to either email me directly or put it in our collaboration page. But I'm going to ask you right now, if there's anything that you'd like to see, would you just put it in the chat, and we'll look at getting documentation or any kind of information together based upon what you would like to hear about. Will the graduation data continue to feed via ASR? Yes, it will. So do any of y'all have any input on what you'd like to talk about on these calls? Well, think about it. And if if you're not, we want you to have a part in what's discussed. So please email me if there's something that you'd like to be talked about on these calls. I try to put the slides together on the Wednesday before the call. So feel free to reach out to me. Other than that, I appreciate everyone's time today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay cool, and we'll talk to you next week.